Look Tark, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another orc mode workout. And today was max effort bench press day. Now you guys know the rules. It's your job to keep the likes higher than the dislikes, and so if you enjoy watching these, you have to click like, then you get to watch the max attempt. So you can skip this little warm up, click like, and let's get on to it. Today was a PR on the banded close grip bench press. I'm still going to call that close grip. I'm about 1 inch away from the smooths. So for those curious, a lot of times my true close grip is right there on the edge of the smooths. That's about 1 inch away. We got decent weight today. I got up to 285 plus 80 pounds of band tension. Now those are obviously Rogue bands. People have seen them closer. They've got the lettering. You guys can check that rating yourself. It's a 50 and a 30 added together. That's 80 pounds. Okay. So that gave me, at the lockout, 365. Now, also people need to remember the band tension kicks in about halfway through. That band tension is not like chains where it's just at the top. So it was pretty challenging at the lockout. And honestly, the 275 felt really easy. So I'm like, this is going to be good. I know I'll get a PR out of this. Now, as far as the band tension last time, people will go, well, didn't you get 295 plus 65? Yeah, but this is 15 pounds more bands and it kicks in midway through. And on the next PR after that, and that one was actually a big PR, I missed the lockout. So with this one felt good. The 275, nice and clean. All right, so I knew I had a PR in the tank. But as far as the lockout, the top third or so of it, it's probably a full 365. So that means we're making progress. And interestingly enough, I didn't feel any tricep at all till the last 2 reps. And even then, it felt very shoulder dominant. Obviously, my pecs are involved, but I'm very, with these closer grips, I'm very delt dominant. My delts are a weak link. It's very obvious my delts are a weak link when you look at me, which is why we're giving them a very large amount of priority. Now, that was a little slow at the lockout, but we got it. And it was slow enough that I felt like if I tried another PR, it's a good chance I would miss it. I'm happy with it. Now, I had to put some thought into my other lifts today. Okay, because I've been doing some thinking, and the whole topic with me doing the JM presses and other stuff have come up. I feel like my triceps still need to get bigger, but they're not a weak link in my pressing at the moment. My delts are. My delts need to be a high priority. And the more I look at things, it's like, why do we do the JM press? So that we can get a big compound for the triceps. So I'm like, if my delts need more work, why am I just not doing more presses and just find presses that work everything? Why can't I just do that? I have all this training volume. Why don't I just push all my pressing to its maximum recoverable volume? All the heads of the tricep can be worked. It's kind of like, why did I go to the JM press? Because I said, well, I don't need the other extensions because now my long head gets really hit hard doing that axle bar overhead press. And it does. It does. So why don't I just focus on pressing? And if I'm doing 15 sets of presses 3 times a week, my triceps are getting plenty of work as long as they're presses that work all the functions of the tricep. Now, today I went ahead and got a PR with this axle bar. I'm going right there a little wider. That gives me a great grip to get good leverages. It's still kind of a medium grip by any standard. And I noticed that as I got my hand position perfect, that not only can I really light my pecs up, I found that when I get the grip perfect on this axle bar, now that I'm learning how to use it, I feel the medial head of my tricep, which is what I was getting out of the JM press. Which is another reason we come right to the point. Do we need the JM press? Because that's what I feel on it. I don't think I do. I think I need to work a variety of big presses that work every function that I need to bring my bench, to build my pecs, delts, triceps. And let's train them hard. Build our 10 rep maxes, which is what we're going to do. So that's what we did here. And so this becomes very pec dominant. This lights my pecs up better than anything I've ever done, just as good as dips do actually, but without the shoulder pain or shoulder inflammation. It really hits that medial head of the tricep. Now that I'm learning to do these, and I notice the trick is not only to grip it the correct way, right? You've got to really get that bar over the wrist so that the hand isn't cocked back. And I try not to let the bar drift towards my face. I try to press it towards my feet. And when I do that, that medial head fires really hard at the lockout. That makes it a good tricep movement. Because I said the other day, I don't feel a lot of tricep. I felt more bicep. Well, now that I'm doing it that way and I've got the grip correct on this bar, And I've got the bar path down. Not only do I feel the whole middle pec, like the whole center of my pec really, really gets hammered. Teaches me to stay tight on the bench. Still giving me all that forearm work because of the axle bar. But then I'm really hitting that medial head at the lockout. Okay, that's one of the 3 heads we need to worry about on the tricep. Well, if my long head's getting hit on the overhead press a lot, really just that lateral head, which is what I feel on the lockout on the band benches, right? I don't feel it with the chains, I feel it with the bands. Well, what can we hit that with? I would normally say a close grip bench. That would work. What about my incline? I know I'm still weak at the incline. I had started working up on that close grip incline. Close grip incline's a good tricep exercise. It's a real good tricep exercise. It's just that it's very upper chest and delt dominant. So after I finished my 5x10 with this, which was PR, by the way, PR. Keep bringing this up. I need to get strong at this. I know this will increase my bench. It does seem to be increasing my bench. We're seeing the bench slowly on these different chain and band variations coming up. And we know this will make me good down at the bottom of the bench, right? Floor press, for a guy with my leverages, because I can touch my chest with the floor press. For someone like me, the floor press does build the bottom of the bench. Incline builds middle big time, and so does the strict press. Well, the only thing we need to worry about for lockout is going to be triceps, but I'm really hitting my triceps hard with all this stuff. And if I really feel like I need more, I do band work for my biceps at night, high rep band work. I can always throw in a set of extensions with the bands if I need to. No risk of elbow tendonitis. Because that's really what it comes down to with the extensions, isn't it? And I've even seen guys like Wendler say, you know, every form of extension eventually gave me elbow tendonitis. Right, I've seen him say it. I've seen guys like Brandon Lilly talk about it. And they're just like, I could just build my triceps with close grip presses and board presses and don't have these problems. It's not like either one of those guys don't have big triceps. It's worked. So, close grip incline. You know what? Just work everything. We'll use the floor press. We'll use the incline and we'll use the overhead press. Enough volume, all my triceps getting hit. Triceps will grow off this. The only concern is that with presses, a lot of times we could argue the triceps get used sometimes as a secondary mover, but look at the amount of volumes we're doing. And I spent a bunch of time doing tons of tricep work this year. I think all this pressing volume will work fine because my triceps got really lit actually on that floor press too. I didn't feel them as much on the incline, but then I felt them on the strict press with the axle bar. So what I noticed with these, I had to reduce the weight. I tried to go back to where I left off last time I did these, but I was really fatigued from the floor press. I couldn't. I managed to barely squeeze out my 10 reps. With that, I had to drop 10 pounds off. So let's build it back up. Let's set a goal. Let's try to get to 205 or 5x10 on this. With my arm length and its close grip on the incline, I think that's a decent enough goal. That's a short term. Let's try to get to that. We have to set milestones for this stuff. So I'm going to work towards doing that, but they need to be good. They need to be clean reps. They need to be clean reps. And I think on the last set I might have only got 9. I could be wrong. I think I just had to rack it. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I lost count. I know all the other sets I got 10. And sometimes people ask on some of this, why are you touch and go? Because I'm trying to just build fatigue. I'm not worried about pausing because this is a different lift. The pausing matters on your benching, yes. But as far as the power out of the bottom I would get from practicing pausing, I'm getting that from floor pressing and the tightness there. This is just about building up my delts, upper chest, triceps. Okay, that's all we care about. That's all we care about. I'm not worried about that. Then I can pause on the last rep to make it hard. Get whatever I might need out of a pause, I'll get out of the last rep. Because the thing we have to remember too, it's different from when we tell novices not to pause, right? We tell novices that. Why? They need to learn how to pause because they'll cheat, they'll bounce. And then they won't build any power out of the bottom of the bench and then they won't have a chest. It's a little different when we get to stuff like incline after you've done other stuff like a floor press. And any pause benefits you get are usually only from the hard reps. Because when you max, you're hitting a really heavy weight from a pause. Not like you're fresh and it's easy. So last rep, really the only one that matters for that. It really is. But man, this was a ton of work. This is a ton of volume. Like, this literally looks like a bro chest and shoulder day, doesn't it? Other than we did a max at the start. 5 sets of floor press, 5 sets of incline close grip, 5 sets of overhead, 5 sets of laterals. For side laterals, right? Man. And we're going to do it again in 48 hours. So what do we do in here? Why is there no pin lace? I'm going to start doing them on my 10 sets of them on my squat and deadlift days. You know what? 30 sets of rows a week will be fine. That's all I need. And why? Well, because it lets me really focus upon bench muscles. All the muscles I need to bench, it lets me focus on those on these days. The rows carry over to my deadlifts fine. And the perk, I don't have to worry about any grip loss. Because a lot of times, even now, because of the axle bar pin lace, because I'm doing those to help with my grip, what happens? We run into problems on deadlift day because I'm working grip really hard. I've got to have a day to where I don't really train my grip before I deadlift. And I deadlift every 4 days. So we really need to train grip 3 days on, 1 day off. So I need to really stick to the axle bar stuff on that. And then on my bench days, the bench days like this before we deadlift, I can take off from grip work other than just obviously the forearm stuff with the axle bar pressing. I had hoped I would be able to maintain my strength on these. Nope. I got with this weight, I got 5 by 10 last time. But we didn't do 2 presses first. We just did the floor press. Doing the incline first, I managed to get 10 reps on the first 2. I think I got 9, and then like 8. We'll build it up. We're going to get used to it again. I think that's a one-off. I think next time when I come in, I will be able to do that. You guys notice I'm changing the grip a lot on this. I'm having to because it's getting really catawampus with no markings, but I like it. I like the awkwardness of it. I like having to use a different grip every time. All right? That's how we get thick. You know, people talk about exercise variation. I'm getting it every set because I'm having to grip the bar different. So again, works. Of course, someone asked me, why aren't you cleaning it up? Because I'm not ready to start cleaning the axle bar up yet. Man, I've got to keep working on grip. But, man, did this light everything up. And again, we come back over to triceps. I really felt the long head on this. Right there. See, I couldn't go any further. I couldn't lock that one. And I wish I could film this stuff with my other camera without a fisheye lens, because the lack of the lockout gets exaggerated on the fisheye lens. Yes, I have trouble locking, and it's just simply my mobility. That is my joints, my skeleton. So I don't have what normally looks like a full lockout to a lot of you guys, but that's as far as my eye can lock out overhead. I've proven it by hanging from a pull-up bar with 100 pounds on me from a dead hang. That's as far as my joints go. If my body weight plus 100 pounds can't pull me tighter, it's not a mobility issue. It's a bone. But it gets exaggerated even more with the fisheye lens. But it's the only way I can film in this room. I really literally need a room that's 10 feet longer to be able to use my normal camcorder. So I use a GoPro for these. And the fisheye lens distorts stuff. And people notice I look bigger with the other camera when I put it further away. It's like, yeah, that's the fisheye lens distorts things. So whatever's in the center looks wider. And yeah, so it's kind of comical. But it is what it is. It makes it look even more distorted than it is because it's up near the top. So, is what it is. But, I mean, we know that my lockout looks funny. That's as far as I can go. I've held some of them at the top before with 225, and people are like, you're not locked. I'm like, I held it for 3 seconds. There's no way I could do that if the bone hadn't locked. Right? The joint has to lock for you to be able to hold that. But then we went over to laterals. The first set, I did these the way I've been doing them, and I realized, you know what? I've kind of run into this issue of I know that I need to focus more on getting the side head more involved, but we run into the problem. And you guys know what that is. Laterals, the way bodybuilders do them, cause irreversible shoulder damage to the joint, to the glenoid, right? I don't want to have my shoulder surgically repaired at this point in my life, but I need to build the side delt. So it's a balancing act. This first set, I'm like, I wasn't happy with that. So I went ahead and focused on leaning over more so that I could keep the elbows up a little higher. But the trick is to try to balance that with keeping the thumb up. Because if you turn the pinky up, like they tell you, oh, pour a kettle, like you're pouring a kettle, that actually crushes the glenoid in your shoulder joint. And I've said that many times, and I've actually had physiologists come in, or people who are studying physical therapy in school who were viewers who said, yeah, he's actually right. That's why it burns so much. That's why you feel the deep burn, because you're crushing your glenoid. But when I did them like this, trying to just keep the elbows up a little bit, man, I felt the side head. It's like, there's the spot. Okay, I found it. Which I haven't been. And it's been hitting that area, and I can feel it, but not quite the same as it's doing here. So hopefully we'll start seeing that grow more. Between all the overhead pressing volume, now trying to do laterals and focus on that, you know, we'll hit that. Now people will say, well, why don't you go all the way down? Because the side head doesn't get work down there. Number two, the chains just kind of unload anyway, so I'm not doing work. And I use chains because I don't have dumbbells. I don't need dumbbells. I have chains to do whatever I need. So this is what we need to do. I'm trying to just hit the lateral head, and obviously the traps are getting involved. My traps are growing no matter what I do. Rows, overhead press, everything make my traps grow. Laterals make my traps grow. They're just going to keep growing probably. Get to a point to where I'll pinch my own head off if I'm not careful. But, and as silly as this looks, this actually hits the side head more than anything I've done. So I don't care how silly it looks. Does it work? Does it work? Yes. Is it hitting the muscle that I need to hit that's lagging? Yes. Am I taking it to failure? Yes. That's all we need. That's all we care about. Because I haven't even seen the footage yet. I just did what felt like it was burning the area and doing the sets to failure. But the trick is, yeah, it's having to get bent over enough so that I can not let the pinky come up, but still keep the elbows up. But I feel like that head's finally being worked. And it's burning, and it got a pump, and I had a great workout. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.